And welcome, Reds. Thank you very much for tuning in for a late night episode, Liverpool transfer news. Breaking news that will be, you're probably waking up to this video or news with a lot of positivity in relation to Liverpool potentially signing a new midfielder. I've got all the latest and on obviously Jurgen Klopp's press conference. Obviously, a lot of these stories do originate in the embargo section. Is where a lot of these stories do originate anyway. So it's always at night time. But if you are watching and if you're new around here, want to keep up to date on all the latest Liverpool news, transfer news, pre-match, post-match shows as well, hit that subscribe button down below. And if you do enjoy today's episode, you find it very good, or if you dislike, just let us know. Drop a like on the video, would massively help as well. Absolute legends. Get your comments in, most importantly, as well. Big up Ravi, la respect. Yeah, of course. And then shouts out, what's happening, Jack. Goes live at 12 hours. Yeah, but chat, De Jong, there's going to be a lot of chat anyway, but we'll get straight into it. Most importantly, and this originates obviously from the press and everything. Make sure you are smashing the like button, everyone. Really just help the channel. One of these tweets does originate, as I said, from the embargo sections of all the journalists. So a lot of that, in relation to quickly sum up the embargo sections for all the journos, obviously Jurgen Klopp, that's when the cameras do shut off. That's why a lot of the press, especially in the UK, that's why a lot of the stories do break at midnight, because obviously the embargo sections is then allowed to be put into the front pages as you're waking up today, and that's why a lot of the stories do break. So we'll quickly go to this. Fabrizio Romano, Liverpool will now try and sign a new midfielder. Jurgen Klopp announces, as quoted, "Yes, I'm the one who said we don't need a midfielder. You were all right and I was wrong. Now we are going for a midfielder. We will do something, but it has to be for the right one." And then that was from Fabrizio Romano and David Lynch, a very well-respected journalist. If you don't follow him on social media, everyone, please do head over. So drop him a follow as well. Really well respected in his field of journalism, especially when it comes to Liverpool. Liverpool are now actively looking to sign a midfielder before the transfer deadline, with Jurgen Klopp admitting, as quotes, similar quotes as well, "I was wrong on the need for reinforcements." And who that midfielder will be, the world of possibilities. It will be interesting how Liverpool do approach this target. Will it be a more creative midfielder, someone that can break the lines as well? Or will it be a more forceful, more physical, athletic midfielder, someone that can cover the pocket of space when our wing backs or the full backs are going forward as well? Or a completely different versatile midfielder, someone that can do both aspects? Or will it be a young player or an older player with a bit more experience in their tank? But as quickly, I'd get to this as well. I've selected three midfielders, and obviously one of those midfielders was a rumoured target who has gone to obviously Real Madrid anyway. And we'll start off, if the rumours were 100% concrete a couple of months ago, prior to Tchouaméni going to Real Madrid. When you can compare Oriol Tchouaméni, and apologies I'm mispronouncing that, when you do look at his profile of a player, it's very evident that the signalling from Jurgen Klopp and the hierarchy in terms of the transfer committee going towards, i.e. a player. Just look at Tchouaméni's profile as a central midfielder, DM / all-round midfielder anyway. He's very similar, and in terms of FB Ref, it's really very, very well publicized in terms of the data and the analytical side of, in terms of obviously how they do their research and everything. So Thiago Alcantara is the most similar player to Tchouaméni anyway. And then when you go down the list, obviously Ismail Benacer, of obviously the Algerian from Milan. And yeah, a list of those targets. It will be interesting to see if Liverpool go for that style of midfielder, or, as I said, will it be a Thiago replacement? And when Liverpool think long term as well, you're analysing, and the similar players to Thiago in his position are those players I've stated in that graph as well. And then I've got another player that we'll probably pick up on the right-hand side of midfield as well. And this is Harvey Elliott. Will Liverpool be going in the market for a right-sided central midfielder, or will it be a left-sided central midfielder, or a midfielder that can play on either flank, on the left or the right, in a 3 or in a possible 2 pivots in a 4-2-3-1 or a formation that would usually tend to play with 2 midfielders. Liverpool play a 4-3-3, so you'd say it'd be more or less obviously a player that can play on the right in an Elliott position, or in a left of a position, i.e. a Thiago or a Naby Keita left central midfield role. So I'll quickly bring up Harvey Elliott in terms of him statistically in relation to players in and around Europe. You'd expect Harvey Elliott to be one of Liverpool's, for the next 5 to 10 year period, Harvey Elliott would be one of those midfielders that Liverpool would thrust into the starting 11 and obviously build a team around. But if you had to analyse, and especially with Jurgen Klopp having such a great understanding and wanting him, Harvey Elliott, the beginning of last season, Harvey Elliott played a large portion of the first 3 games of the league season. So, i.e., we know he's a massive part to play. So it's tending to look like Liverpool potentially could be bringing in a left central midfielder that can do the job on the left, i.e., obviously we've got Naby Keita, long-term injury, Thiago Alcantara. We don't know the long-term severity of his current injury. It could be looking like a case of, and we've said, it's very well publicised and well documented, Thiago Alcantara's injury record. In 1 of 8 seasons, he's only achieved over 30 appearances in the league. And that was prior to obviously him coming to Liverpool as well. So in the last 8 seasons, Thiago's only featured in 1 league season with over 30 league games. So it's very highly unlikely his contract does end in 2 seasons, Thiago Alcantara. So we could be having a case of, we know his quality, but when Liverpool think long term, and we know, for me, it's potentially looking like a player that can preoccupy that left central midfield role, or a player that can do vice versa. So he's very adaptable. And we need an all-round midfield as well. But for me, everyone's talking about one midfielder. I want to be a bit greedy. I want us to get at least 2 if possible. But it's crazy season now. It's, what are we, 6 days away from the transfer window, chat? Or anyone watching anyway. So interesting times. I'm a bit gutted that Jurgen Klopp and Liverpool Football Club have left it up until this moment in the season. It's not ideal. Whoever does come in, the player, it will be probably for a bit more extra money, i.e. an extra 20, 30 plus million, or a player profile, a player that would come in potentially in the next couple of days that would not be that's not wanted at the football club. They've either had a disagreement with the hierarchy, or that player, Z player, will be very much having aspirations of potential Champions League or wanting a new challenge, similar to Sadio Mane anyway. We'll get to all your comments as well. Let me know your thoughts. Who would you like if you are watching on the repeat? If there's any midfield players that you identified, or when you've watched them over the last couple of years, that you feel would very much suit Liverpool's system, i.e. on the left or the right, or very adaptable in terms of Liverpool's system. It'll be interesting, this type of player, whoever does come into the door, what type of system player he will be. As I said at the top of the show, will it be a midfielder that can very much drive with the ball, very good on the ball, on his feet, or is it more athletic midfielder, someone that is a bit more box to box with the ability to go backwards and forwards in terms of a physical environment, especially in the Premier League as well. So there's a lot of names. Obviously, the big names, Jude Bellingham, as a lot of people, and quite rightly so, and me on the understanding of, I don't think it will be Jude Bellingham. And everyone knows Dortmund never sell 2 players in one window. They've already sold Erling Haaland. So potentially it could be going next season, and everyone's on the understanding of seeing Jude Bellingham going next season. So it's not going to be Jude Bellingham. my main target, I've been saying, look back on my channel for the last couple of years, Nicolò Barella of Inter Milan. You would command a very large fee in excess of easy 70, 100 odd million. But a player like Barella, he's very versatile in terms of the midfield three as well. Predominantly plays in a system, as we know, with Inter Milan, who like to play Dumfries, a marauding fullback down that right-hand side. So he's more adapted to that system. A player that has an elite level understanding of defensive duties as well within a system. So for me, Barella, that's my dream target. I'd rather have Barella over Jude Bellingham personally, because I think he'd suit Liverpool's system a lot better in terms of his ability on the ball. His ball retention when he has got control of the ball. I've watched a couple of Inter games, but if you haven't seen it, you're watching and if you typed in Barella compilation, within the first 2 seconds, you'd see him surrounded by 7, 8 opposition players, and he dribbles off with the ball with ease, and he drives at midfield players. So let me know your thoughts. And there's a lot of rumours, not 100% on this, everyone, but there is speculation when you wake up tomorrow. It might be completely changed, so apologies, but there has been rumours with Frankie De Jong of Barcelona. For me, when I look at this deal, it would have to be Frankie De Jong would have to take a huge, and I mean huge, cut in his wages to move to Liverpool Football Club. I think he's in excess of 500 odd million euros, so 350, 400 odd £1,000 as well. So for me, I don't think it will be De Jong, but it wouldn't surprise me. A player that suits the profile. He's more of a central midfielder. He can play in the central defensive role, but he can play in the 6, but he's predominantly a number 8, especially for Holland as well. So Ginny's, you might just spoke to Ginny, good mate with Van Dijk on the international level as well. So I don't think it will be De Jong, but a lot of the rumours, and if you're waking up today or don't be jumping on the video going, oh, he said it wasn't De Jong, and it gets announced. But if it did, it'd be a phenomenal signing, and he's got similar attributes to that of Barella, who would very much suit Liverpool's system. So let me know your thoughts. I will get to all your comments as well. Drop a like on the video as well. Everyone really does help. You know something, I've read that one. It's quality, pure facts, no clickbait. De Jong, baby. He's a good player, Robinny, but it will be interesting. So after I had bad news tonight about my uncle, hopefully everything is okay, Andrew. Hopefully okay, matey. I'd give the supporters hope and much needed smile as well. Not just the supporters, Gary. Jurgen Klopp has needed a boost, and these players do need a boost, or the big massive kick up the backside anyway. And telling you, if this news does trickle through to the players tonight, I'm hoping that they're not up at this late, but if they are, this is a massive kick up the backside and more or less a signal from Jurgen Klopp and the football club to say they are not happy currently as it stands with the players, the midfield players' performances. Top Reds trying to make fans, midfielders seem like not real fans. I'm not going to comment on that, mate. Anyway, I just enjoy doing my videos, mate. Everyone, Liverpool Football Club is all one big family anyway, and it's everyone they're entitled to every single one of your views. Some of the stuff I say, a lot of you don't agree with and disagree, but I've created this platform over for like 4 years ago, and I'm made up to have a lot of guests on and people that I've been allowed to go on their channels and speak my mind. Everyone's views are entitled in the Liverpool fan base, and it does me head in the way people, like certain fans, do speak down on others. Everyone's same views are entitled, and everyone's views should be respected. And as I said, I've made very good mates and a lot of mates on YouTube as well. Liverpool's YouTube family is very small, so everyone knows everyone. But yeah, I've had the real privilege of obviously speaking to people, being on their shows as well. And it's as I said, I don't really try and get drawn into it, mate. And all this top reds, bottom reds, and all nonsense. I just don't get involved in it, mate. I just do my videos. I just love talking about footy, most importantly, and just meeting new people as well, and just talking about what we love most, and that's Liverpool Football Club. How you doing, Rod? Obviously, it's Rod. What time is it in Australia? I mean, it's probably what time are we on? Yeah. 10 to 1 10 to 1 in the morning in the UK. So I've got to speak quiet. But yeah, I have to wrap this up very soon. Fabio Carvalho will get less game time. Gary, I think similar with De Jong, mate, if it is a midfielder that can play a more holding role and is a bit more creative, potential formation change depending on the midfielder that will come in, Gary. But there's a lot of options to see who does come in, mate. In addition to Matheus Nunes, Wolves had a bid accepted tonight for Mets midfielder Traore. Keep an eyes peeled on Ruben Neves. Interesting that, Chris. Oh, what a player Ruben Neves is, mate. Absolutely love it. He fits the profile as well of Liverpool midfielder. Such good technical player. I would take Neves in a heartbeat. Interesting, mate. Try to get your midfielder. But Rod said, I don't like that Barella. When I saw him play, he was a constant falling his arms in frustration and eventually stopped running after 75 minutes. Now that's what the Reds need right now. Yeah, Rod, it's when we've played them, mate. No disrespect to Inter Milan, but if you're playing in a system that is more catered and he's got the likes of Salah and Nunes, a Diaz, no respect, that Inter Milan side is not the Inter Milan side I grew up as a kid in the early 2000s as well. Obviously, the likes of Ronaldo up front, Adriano, the Schneiders, and yeah, they're a much lesser team than they were. But I think Barella surrounded by the quality players Liverpool have in an attacking sense and a defensive sense as well. I think he's a really missing piece of the jigsaw, really. But 90 million, can't moan about that fee. Obviously, obviously great deal for what's her name? Leicester. Obviously getting is it your centre half for Fana, essentially. The Beatles, I didn't know we'd need a midfielder, but Klopp didn't. But De Jong won't be signing. Oh yeah, 100% the Beatles mystery tours as well. Thank you very much for tuning in, mate. Everyone, if you are watching on the repeat, thank you for tuning in. Everyone, hit that subscribe button down below. But yeah, it's there's a lot, as I said there, mate. As you said, we all comment how the Klopp didn't know. I'm really concerned of what this does mean in terms of Jurgen Klopp. As he said, I will quickly bring it up for people that have joined in now. He was quoted. He says, "I was wrong on needing a reinforcement." So there's a lot of connotations to the words in which the manager said. People can take that for different ways in terms of context, but it will be interesting. De Jong could probably retire with what they owe him in Spain. 100% there, he's laughing all the way to the bank. Let's say that anyway. I'm sticking my money on De Jong. No smoke without fire, and there's a lot of smoke around his name. Conor Gallagher, yeah, I really do like Conor Gallagher as a player. Interesting. I hear midfielders coming. Conor, yeah, I think Conor just woke up anyway. Just a bit lah. I can't believe Klopp is wrong. He's God. Yeah, no. At least Klopp's had the backbone to say, it's the thing, and that's the whole thing now. That if Liverpool do sign a midfielder, is he taking the brunt of the blame for the owners? I don't know. It's just a question. If he's taken the bullet for the owners, if him or the hierarchy or the owners, someone's wrong. What we both said, 10 to 8 in Western Australia, relatively early game today at 10 p.m. 2-0 my prediction. Get in, Rod. All chat. If you have missed your notification on the channel, I've done a great video with Matt. Obviously from the Bournemouth channel anyway. That's on the channel, Rod, if you want to check that out anyway before the game, everyone. By doing Spider. I would love Frankie De Jong, but I think it'd be Luka Sucic that would be brought in anyway. Inter need the money. Good points. The club is wrong. Who's picking the signings? Well, Paul, he said this week, didn't he, Mason chat? He wasn't in charge of signing the players, so it's a bit mad. Could you give a big shout out to my wife, Shelley? Shout out Shelley, and obviously congratulations on the wedding, both of you two. But she's a Sheffield Wednesday fan. Well, Shelley and Simon, hopefully have a good night anyway. Thank you for tuning in, everyone. As I said, I'll do a quick run through and then we'll cap off the show, everyone, especially if people just joined in. So we had, obviously, Liverpool will now sign a new midfielder. Jurgen Klopp announces, yes, I'm the one who said we don't need a midfielder, and you were all right, and I was wrong. Now, you were all wrong. Now we need a midfielder, and you were all right, and I was wrong. Now we are going for a midfielder. His own quotes. That's Jurgen Klopp. And he goes on to say, we will do something, but it has to be for the right player. And then David Lynch, Liverpool are now actively looking to sign a midfielder before the transfer deadline, with Jurgen Klopp admitting, I was wrong on the need for reinforcements. As I said, my closing point as well, there was rumours, and it'd be interesting to see if those rumours do bear fruits in the next couple of days, and obviously the next 6 to 12 months in terms of Liverpool's recruitment of more midfielders, because it's not just one midfielder we need. Liverpool, we're going to be losing Ox, we're going to be losing Naby, then we're losing Milner, so it's not just one. If Liverpool do the business for once, Liverpool are going to have to do extensive surgery on Liverpool's midfield in the next 12 months. And as I said, Tchouaméni, when you look and compare his statistical analysis in terms of how very similar the main player in terms of the data, Tchouaméni is the most similar player. The most similar player to him is Thiago Alcantara as well. And that speaks volumes. So in the long-term goal, Liverpool had envisioned Tchouaméni to be Thiago's long-term replacement from the data. And then when you look at Thiago, very similar players as well, is Penna, Tchouaméni there, and N'Golo Kante. In terms of all the statistical analysis, I'd love chat. There's a final thought as well. I'd love Bruno from Newcastle. But you'd need a lot of money to get him out, Bruno. He's only been there for, 6 months or something, not a long time. And then we'll go to the final player. When you look at all the data, in terms of similar players to the position in which Harvey Elliott does vacate in that right central midfield role, you're looking at Pedri, De Bruyne, Barella. That's why I mentioned Barella as well. Naby Keita. So a lot of players very similar. So long term. But everyone, I will let you go to bed. We'll get to everyone's comments as well. How you doing, Jordan? Thank you for tuning in, mate. I'm sure we need more. Yeah, that's the thing, innit? The closing point is, as Paul said there, we need more than one. But I'll be very surprised if we get more than one. If we do, then happy days. It would be under the understanding of potentially Liverpool have already got outgoings, Paul and chat. Liverpool would have to have got a couple of players out the door before we can bring players in as well. So get to North's final comments. So to be a people, but one midfielder don't to make a Premier League. So yeah, and North, and I think we're all in full agreement. 100% there, mate. You're not being that, mate, as well. We're still too vulnerable age-wise and repeat injuries-wise and challenges, obviously in relation to Harvey Elliott, and that's a great point there, North, as well. When we get to Spider's last comments, good luck, lads. Told you it would happen, and the anti-transfer, I'm the anti-transfer guy as well. But everyone, have a lovely rest of your night. Like, share, subscribe if you are new around here. If you are watching on the repeat, please drop a subscribe, drop a like on the video as well. Even if you don't like my channels, drop a like on the video. Really just help the channel grow. I know a lot of you didn't get your notifications. So, everyone, I'll see you tomorrow for a live stream watch along Liverpool versus Bournemouth. See you later, everyone. Appreciate you tuning in.